Hi folks, my name is Darren Gerdes. Here are the three big stories for today. So this first one I found fascinating. Have you wondered how they've been able to target what they've been able to target in Crimea? Well, they have spies all over. A man who we're calling Agent 1 takes photos as he crouches down beside some bushes. He tells us he's part of a group called Atesh, a word meaning fire in Crimean Tatar. And via a messaging app, he described his secret life to the BBC, spying on Russian forces in occupied Crimea. The article is absolutely fascinating. I'm just hitting some highlights. The BBC contacted Tesh directly to spoke to a handler based on unoccupied Ukraine. The men will not reveal their identities due to risk of arrest. The Russian special services are constantly trying to identify partisans. Agent 2 tells us he hides the work he's doing even from his closest family. Ukrainian strikes have caused Russia to move assets away for Atesh. The threat of infiltration by pro-Russian operatives is very real in a murky world of agents and double agents. But he says this: if I'm caught, I'll face the basements of the FSB and accusations of being a traitor to the motherland. But with the risk comes the possibility, too, of reward. We often see the fruits of our work when Russian military sites are hit and only ashes remain. Well, way to man up. That's really impressive. And I'm sure that's happening in Russia simultaneously as well. And there's multiple groups like that. Okay, I talked about North Korea supplying Russia with missiles the other day, and I was kind of laughing at it. And then I found out in another article that ballistic missiles are actually getting through at a better pace than cruise missiles, which I was scratching my head. Here is a Center for Arms Control and Non-Proliferation explaining the difference between ballistic cruise and hypersonic missiles. This is new to me.
Platforms.
Someone who's a missileer like Jake probably already understands this, but this was new to me, so I
Cruise
thought it
missiles
might be new to
do not
you.
leave the atmosphere and can fly as low as a few meters off the ground, making them very difficult to detect. Any missile that travels at 5 or more times faster than the speed of sound is considered hypersonic, while most ballistic
Okay, so those are cruise and hypersonic missiles, and hypersonic are the Kinzels that Putin was bragging about. But how do ballistic missiles work? Well, it works like this.
A ballistic missile is powered initially by a rocket engine or a series of rocket engines in stages, but then follows an unpowered trajectory that arches upwards into space before descending back through the atmosphere to reach its intended target. Ballistic missiles can fly to short, medium, and long ranges.
And these are what they're getting from North Korea, and these are what's apparently harder to shoot down. Okay, last story here. Every Ukrainian downing of hypersonic missile, Kinzel missile within the Patriots will improve the Patriot missile intercept algorithm. So they're learning, the Americans and NATO forces are learning with each missile that comes their way. That includes hypersonic missiles, the Kinzels that are supposed to be so absolutely damaging. One more little bit about this. The intercepts, while a win for Ukraine, are also gathering hordes of data for other Patriot operators, making the system smarter and better. It's just one example of how the war in Ukraine is, as one missile defense expert told Business Insider, an intelligence bonanza. And it really is. Okay, last little story. What's happening in Belgorod now? Well, Russian officials are now offering to relocate people from the city. In previous attacks, that wasn't the case, where they were almost neglected or left on their own, but now they're offering to do that. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the subscribes, and thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.